always loved human behaviour.
Yeah.
I always loved street psychology and all that stuff. So I was like I often say how I was like a gay man in the 60s, in the closet kind of thing, not coming out. I was like that with reading. Back then it was called self-help books.
Yeah.
It wasn't personal development or growth or human growth and all this stuff. And I would be consuming these books like nothing, but nobody would know anything. I would be ashamed of it, actually, because self-help means that I'm broken. I need help. Where I was a very capable person, I was strong, but none of my friends, groups and environments, I used to tell myself I'd get bashed if they knew I was reading this stuff, right? So I would consume all this stuff. And then I went to my first program in my early mid-20s. A mate forced me to do it. And that just changed my whole interpretation of life. That was like, wow.
Which
really
program
cool. That was
this?
the Landmark Forum.
Okay.
All right, and I hated it up until the last quarter.
What is it exactly?
A Landmark Forum it's about, in a nutshell, on the last day, it shows you, and this can piss people off when I tell it to them, but life is empty and meaningless because it's empty and meaningless because it's empty and meaningless. In other words, we are born with nothing on the canvas, and then something happens and we make it mean something. You and I would make something mean different things, right?
Yeah.
Based on our historical context, where we came from, our culture, our religion, our societal expectations placed upon us as children and that.
These are the catalysts of us beginning to assign value.
Yes, that's right. And we value what's important to us. So if we assign value to something, we're now going to hold on to that and grasp it as tight as we can and defend it and fight for it. And in some instances with countries, go and kill over it, right? But then when we realise that I made all these meanings, I made all these interpretations, we start thinking, hold on, if it's empty and meaningless, we can now create our own meaning to every interaction we have. And then it goes on to the next program, the advanced course. And that's where you start creating what you want to create based on that empty canvas.
So what about this did you hate? Was this kind of attacking your ego a little bit?
Massively.
In what way?